my name is Ella, and guess what time it is? It's cookie time! This year I'm planning on selling 200 boxes or more. Please help supporting my troop by buying 1 boxes or maybe even 2 if you want to. My troop is planning on going on an exciting trip and helping my community. Please help support me by buying 1 box or more. Bye!
What's up, everyone? Welcome to this day in Philly sports history for January 20th, 2025. I'm your host, Jim Montgomery. Welcome to a Victory Monday edition of the podcast. We're going to the NFC Championship Game. Apologize for my voice. Long day in the cold, snow, and at the game yesterday, so I do apologize. But it is a Victory Monday, 28-22 Eagles over the Rams in the snow. And what a fun game. Snow held off till about halftime or so, but when it came down, and man, was it fun. And as I always do the day after the game, these are just sort of my takes without looking at anything. I did listen to Nick Sirianni's press conference on the way home, so that's really the only sort of thing I've looked at yet today. So these are just sort of my takeaways. First and foremost, the game was fun. Absolutely a fun game to be in the snow. Saquon Barkley is just an absolute beast. It was sloppy when the weather came, and I'll get more into that in the 3 keys. But overall, a fun game to be at. When Brian Dawkins came out and got the crowd fired up, it was amazing. I would have loved to see him do one of his classic entrances, but there was snow on the ground, so he did not. Little concerned about Jake Elliott. 1 for 3 on his extra points, made the game closer than what it had to be. Cost us our -6.5 bet, but did hit 3 big field goals in the snow. So very inconsistent, and we've been all right. But somehow I feel as though this is going to come back to bite us at some point. But he was clutch in the snow when it mattered. The offense played decent. It was tough going in the second half. Jalen took 7 sacks. Most of them were on him, holding the ball too long. I don't know if that was just because of the snow, waiting for guys to get open. There were some drops. He did possibly injure his leg, but did do decent in the first half. I thought the scripted 15 plays were good, and then they kind of went away with that. But after that, some of the play calls were suspect, especially going deep in the snow. I would have liked to have seen more use because Goddard was good when they got the ball to him. Would have liked to see them get it to Goddard more. But you do what you do to win and move on. And truthfully, that really is the only thing. And that's what this team has been all year, is just doing what it takes to win. It hasn't always been pretty, but they win with their physicality, and then Saquon wearing them down. Concerned about the leg injury. Jalen said it's no big deal, but we'll see more as that comes on. Also, Quinyon Mitchell, the shoulder injury, you could tell that kind of hurt the team there. And we've seen when Isaiah Rodgers and Ringo, I think, played a little bit. When they come in cold, they're just not as good as if they have time to prep. But those are the 2 big injuries we're kind of monitoring as we go. But the defense played championship level defense yesterday. Forced 2 turnovers, got the big plays when they needed it. Jalen Carter was just an absolute beast, and coming up big when it mattered the most. I thought the linebackers played well. It was mostly Oren Burks, but he filled in nicely for Nakobe Dean. It was a pretty cool thing to see Zach Bond come out with Nakobe Dean's jersey. So we'll see, again, the Quinyon Mitchell injury. We'll see how that goes. He says he's going to play, so we'll kind of take him as his word. But I really do think the defense was the key to this game, and just clamping down when they need it. I thought it was kind of weird when they had the lead. That last Rams touchdown, though, they were playing the prevent, and I hate that. They should have just pinned their ears back and continued to do what they did, and almost got them there at the end. But again, Jalen Carter comes through when he needs to. Dude is an absolute stud. So Washington next week at home. Eagles are early 5.5-point favorites. Should be a good game. Early weather forecast doesn't look like there's going to be any weather, so it should be a straight up game. I'm good for a good 10 years now before another snow game, but it was a lot of fun. Let's revisit the 3 keys to the game. First key, I say get off to a fast start, and they did that. The only time they trailed was in the first quarter, 7-6, after Elliott missed the extra point. But after that, they had the lead when the snow came, and I thought that was important because they didn't have to press and try to come back in the snow the way the Rams did. They, like I said, they responded well when they needed to, and Jalen's run was just outstanding. It's going to be interesting to see how the leg is. But overall, I think we nailed that one. Number 2 was play physical. And I think both offensive lines played physical, or offensive and defensive line played physical all game long. And you needed to do that against a team as the Rams. Jared Verse had himself a game. To his credit, he did back up his trash talk. And then finally, do your job for the most part. I felt everybody just needed to do what they do, stay within yourselves. And I think for the most part, they did that. Jalen, like I said, could have been better, especially in the second half. AJ had a couple drops. Kellen Moore, the play calling, like I said, was a little suspect. And then, again, I don't know, the clock management at the end of the first quarter after the sack, I don't know why. It was just a weird sequence. It ended up working out. They didn't want to give the Rams a 2-for-1, but it was just a weird sequence of events before the half. So hopefully they got to clean that up. Heading into this week, should be no interviews for Kellen Moore. Get healthy, and we'll see where we go. But overall, I'll take it. At this point in the year, it does not matter what the games look like. We're not worried about stats. We're not worried about who looks good and is Jalen a good quarterback or a game manager or whatever. Does not matter as long as you win and advance. And now we have 2 more games left in the season, starting Sunday against Washington. A little bit of a revenge spot for the Eagles. We could see, as long as he's healthy, this could be the Jalen Hurts finishing the game, taking him to the Super Bowl. It could be a big spot for him. But overall, we will take it. 28-22, Eagles beat the Rams in the snow. As I get a chance to look at more highlights and really kind of rewatch some of the game, I'll have more specifics on this game tomorrow. But we will take it. We're moving on to the NFC Championship game. And as we do every day after, time to vote for the GOAT of the game. And I think it's only 2. Is it Saquon Barkley with 2 massive touchdown runs, or Jalen Carter, who really led that defense? 267-495-8531. That'll get you into the Back to the Future voice and text line. But who do you got? This is a tough one. I might have to go Carter because that last sack really saved the game and put the pressure on the Rams to try to have to get a touchdown from further back. But let me know your thoughts. 267-495-8531. That's the Back to the Future voice and text line. Who's your go to the game? Is it Jalen Carter? Is it Saquon Barkley? Vote now. All right. Today is Martin Luther King Day. Hopefully you're going out and doing some types of acts of service. It might be tough with the snow. So if you can't make it to anything, or your event or whatever you were going to do got canceled, you can still do something in your neighborhood. Go check on your neighbors, see if they need their sidewalks shoveled. Go see if they need something from the store. You can still do something on a small scale for Martin Luther King Day. And then you heard Ella at the beginning. Be sure to buy Girl Scouts. It's a snowy Monday. It's a great day to buy some Girl Scout cookies. All the information you need is in the link in the description. And then follow me on social media, Jimbo_Mott on Twitter and TikTok. Yes, TikTok is back. At Philly Jimbo on Instagram. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Jimbo_Mott. And be sure to spread the word. If you're enjoying this, likely someone else in your network will as well. Then check out my boys over at the On Patterson newsletter. We're in there a couple times a week. Great insight, great stuff delivered right to your inbox. So go check them out and subscribe to that newsletter. All right, Sixers, got to bring us down here a little bit. Sorry, alarm. Happens every time I'm off. But Sixers, 123-109, lose to the Bucks. No Joe, no Paul George. Tyrese had 37. Adem Bona played some extended minutes and didn't do so bad. Maybe this is where we are at this time, and we're just trying to see what we got and look forward to next year. They've now lost 6 in a row, and it does not get easier as they're in Denver tomorrow night. All right, check out my boys at the Clashing Conferences podcast. Great things happening on their fan network. And then do some shopping. Why not buy some Girl Scout cookies and then go to Philly Goat, celebrate the Eagles win, go get some of the Saquon Barkley shirts that they have there. Be sure to use that promo code Jim Montgomery to take 10% off your order. That's phillygoat.com. Use the promo code Jim Montgomery to take 10% off of your order. All right, today. And like I said, there are times where this could be a This Day in Wilt Chamberlain history podcast. We're going to go back to 1967. And on this day in 1967, Sixers beat the Lakers 119-108 to improve to 45-4 in the middle of their championship run. It was their 8th straight win, but the story, as always, was Wilt Chamberlain, 32 points, 30 rebounds, 9 assists, went 15 for 15 from the floor, which set the NBA record for field goals without a miss in a game. He would actually break that record 2 more times during the 1966-67 season, including 18 for 18, which still stands as the NBA record today. But on this day, it was Wilt setting the record, 15 for 15, most field goals without a miss in a game, as the Sixers beat the Lakers 119-108, winning their 8th straight and improving to an incredible 45-4 en route to their championship that year. Finally today, it's NFC Championship week, so again, we got to continue the forgiveness and try to bring that good karma, that good vibes, release the negativity out into the atmosphere. And today, we're going to forgive Andrew Bynum. And yes, Andrew Bynum, always forget this at some point, was a member of the Sixers for a season. He was traded in a 4-team deal. He was expected to be the piece that took them over the top. If you remember, the Sixers were in NBA purgatory where they were 7-8 seed, 9-10 seed, and this was before the play-in tournament. So he was expected to be sort of their star that put them over the top. Remember that team had like Drew Holiday, Andre Iguodala, Thaddeus Young, and just didn't have the guy. And Bynum was expected to be the guy. They introduced him at that big hoopla at the Constitution Center. Everybody was feeling good for being a Sixers fan. Unfortunately for Andrew Bynum and the Sixers, he had a lack of fluid in his knee. And they literally tried everything to get this fixed. He went over to Germany a couple times doing the same procedure that Kobe Bryant did. And it just seemed like as that season progressed and as the treatments progressed, there was never any positive updates. It was always that his knee's not responding. He needs to make another trip, or it's getting worse. And then a big punch in the face. He hurt his knee bowling. And it was caught on camera, and just that's when you knew that it just was never going to work out. And Andrew Bynum ended that era of the Sixers with, I believe, Doug Collins was a coach. He resigned at one point. Tony DeLeo was the general manager. They basically cleaned house, and it led to Sam Hinkie and the process. But to the Sixers' credit, I think they had to take the chances they did with Andrew Bynum when they did, simply because they weren't going anywhere. So you have to take a chance, and you never know. Maybe those treatments would have worked, but it did not. But we're going to forgive Andrew Bynum today. We're going to forgive him for not having any fluid on his knees. We're going to forgive him for making things worse by going bowling, and on top of that, getting hurt bowling. Not sure how you do that. How do you get hurt bowling? Literally. It's like the least contact sport that you can play other than maybe darts, and you get hurt bowling. So I forgive you, Andrew, but I will thank you because you did lead us to the process, and as disappointing as it is right now, it kind of brought the Sixers back to relevancy, and I don't know if they get there if Andrew Bynum had played and made a difference for them. So thank you for that. Forgive you for bowling. Forgive you for not really ever playing for the Sixers. And a credit to the Sixers. We'll give them credit for going for it. But Andrew Bynum is who we're forgiving today in an effort to bring that good karma going into next week and give us a trip to the Super Bowl. On this day in 1967, Sixers beat the Lakers 119-108. Wilt Chamberlain, 32 points, 30 rebounds on 15 for 15 shooting, which set an NBA record, which he later broke and now holds at 18 for 18. Remember, go out, do something nice. If you can't go to a Martin Luther King Day of Service event, do something nice for your neighbors or shovel a driveway, go to the store, whatever it is. It's very easy to do something like that. Be sure to vote for your GOAT of the game. Is it Saquon or Jalen? As much as Saquon played a big role in that, and it was fun seeing him make that run in the snow, I gotta go Jalen Carter for this one. We'll have more on and wrap up the Eagles-Rams tomorrow and start looking ahead to the Eagles and Commanders, who do have a history in the postseason. We'll cover that later this week as well. But it's a victory Monday. We will take it. We're moving on to the NFC Championship game. One win away from the Super Bowl, and I can guarantee you the weather will be better next week. This has been This Day in Philly Sports History for January 20th, 2025. My name is Jim Montgomery. Go have yourselves a Monday, and until next time, go Birds.